Just want to take a moment or two and talk about this experiment that's kind of gone over in chapter 4. It's technically called the Miller-Urey experiment, and it was done in I think the 60s from some scientists. Somewhere, I think Stan Miller, originally at the University of Chicago. But what he did is, and his lab did, is took non-living materials like carbon dioxide and water and tried to emulate what it would have been like about 4 billion years ago on planet Earth. And they incorporated energy sources, materials like methane and maybe ammonia and so on, and heat, lightning, and so they tried to create make a model of an environment which would have been probably around what we would call the primordial soup, and see how we could take these basic building blocks of carbon monoxide and what have you, and see what we could make. So they took this kind of fancy like apparatus. They had water, as you can see, H2O. It's supposed to represent the sea, and then it's boiling, making water vapor. That water vapor kind of comes up and along, and at some point there would have been like some sort of tap in here where they could have introduced CH4, which is methane, NH3, which is ammonia, H2 gas, probably some carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, and they would have had, so it's important to know that there would have been no like O2, because it was thought that a long time ago, 4 billion years ago, there was no actual free oxygen. It was all bound up in like water. It was all bound up in carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and probably some other things too. So took all these gases, and then you got this energy source. So they used electrodes to simulate lightning. All right, so we got the lightning, it's zapping, 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 and then there's this jacket that's put on here. Well, it would always be on there. So there's a tube going through the middle, and then on the outside, cold water can go in, and the cold water will go on the outside, wrap around on the outside, and then it leaves. And then what that does is it cools the contents down. So you probably have these heated contents because we have a heat source cooling it down, and it kind of turns into this like kind of brownish sludge that gets collected on the bottom. And then they sent that out for an analysis. And what they found is that they could create like simple amino acids and like precursors to simple amino acids and interesting like organic compounds just by taking some simple, just a simpler apparatus like this with water, methane, ammonia, hydrogen, maybe some carbon dioxide. Other experiments were done after this where they took other, say, heat sources and then mixed in different elements or different like compounds in the atmosphere. So they were able to get other like precursors and other actual like sugars and things that were like very similar to DNA. So I think it's important to kind of know and understand this experiment because it shows, it kind of gives us this bridge of having non-living things and being able to make like the building blocks of life